Okay, so yesterday I said I was gonna make another video on flow state. So here we are, another video is being made. This one's gonna be more on the application side of things and like how to use it to your advantage. So I spent last night doing a little bit of research. I read some of the book by the Hungarian dude. I said it correctly now. He's Hungarian. Read a little bit of that and kind of learned how to apply this more practically, and I realized that I have done this before, a lot, especially a lot during last semester. So I'm going to share the knowledge I learned with you. His biggest thing is that when you're in this sort of like state of mind, you want the least amount of distractions as possible. And so I am someone who's very easily distracted. I will sit here about to make a video, I'll take notes, I'll get everything done, I'll be ready to go, and then I'll be like, oh, YouTube. Like, cause like I'll set it up to get ready to upload to YouTube. I'll be like, oh, look at this video I want to watch. I'm like, why Greece never became communist. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I want to watch this. And then this shit just gets delayed like 10, 15 minutes. So I get distracted very easily. How do you eliminate this? Well, you work when no one can contact you. And that sounds a little extreme, and it kind of is. But for me, it was very helpful, especially last semester. So like last semester, I had an 8 a.m. I think it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It was Monday, Wednesday. No, I think I had 8 a.m.s all week actually. That's crazy. Damn. Yeah, but the one I'm thinking of in particular was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so I would wake up at 6. I would, make myself a cup of coffee. I would meditate. I would shower, do, whole 9 yards. And then I'd sit down. I would journal. I would kind of plan out one of these. I would make it and I would upload it. And then I'd go to the calf and then I'd go to class. And then sometimes I would wake up even earlier. Like I had a phase where I was up at, 4, 5 in the morning. I'd get up, I'd go to the gym, I'd run, and then I'd do all of that. And I loved it. I mean, I felt great besides, the nights where I wasn't disciplined enough to go to bed at like 8, 9 o'clock, and then I'd wake up and just be like, ugh. But like when I was getting enough sleep, I mean that I felt amazing because I got every task besides school done for the day by the time school started. And so it was great. And so I recommend doing that. However, that seems very daunting to a lot of people, especially people who aren't morning people. And if you're not a morning person, you might be a night person. And the other option he kind of says in the book is, hey, if you're a night person, get this stuff done like after midnight. But that could also seem daunting because you don't want to fuck up your sleep schedule. You got stuff to do during the day. So let's just say your time to work is during 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, which in my mind is like the worst time of the day. I am dog ass tired from like 1 to 4. But let's say that's like your prime time. That's when you're gonna get everything done. Throw your phone on Do Not Disturb. Put on some noise canceling headphones. And make sure you plan out what you need to get done. He very much stresses that when you're in this like flow state, you have to have tasks in your mind that you need to get done to trigger it. You can't just be aimlessly doing work because that doesn't really exist. That's just kind of like your mind is like searching for something to do. So you're not really in like a state of like, getting everything done in a straight line. So make sure before you sit down, you write out everything that you need to get done. Okay? Once you do that, once that is written down, phone and Do Not Disturb, lock the damn door, throw on, some music that you can listen to without being like, oh, I have to skip this. Or if it's not music, maybe it's just some like nature noises or something that like cuts you off from the outside world. Or if you're writing, let's say you're writing music, maybe find a way to like soundproof your room. Now, let's say all of these options aren't possible. Let's say you live somewhere or work somewhere where you can't, besides putting your phone in Do Not Disturb, you can't really shut everyone out. So then it becomes a matter of, okay, how do I get stuff done? Well, this is where sacrifice comes in. You have two options. First one, you go around your house or your workplace, or I guess not really workplace, but it could be, wherever you are, and you just politely ask people. I would not recommend doing this in public. Maybe if you're at like a library, but like I wouldn't do this like at a coffee shop. But like you go, you politely ask people, hey, I need like an hour to just get all of this done. Like, do you mind like being quiet and not disturbing me? And like if you're in your house, they're gonna say yes. Like they're not gonna be dickheads about it. But again, I would not do this in a coffee shop. Library, I feel like is more acceptable. Your other option, which I think is probably the better one, is you get yourself up early or you go to bed later. I recommend getting up early. I think getting up early is good for everybody. I know everybody hates it. I know it's like the bane of everybody's existence, but you feel a lot better when you do it. Currently, I cannot do it. Well, I am, but I'm getting up early to go into my job. So then I come back. So my like flow state hour is from like noon to like, well, not really. I get back home at like 12:30. So let's say like 12:30 to 3:30. That's kind of like my time to get everything done. And most of the time, you only will need 2 hours. Like you could be building a business, you could be writing songs, and you know, if you're like really in the zone and you want to keep going for more than 2 hours, go crazy. But most of the time, to get what is probably a day's amount of work, you probably only need 2 hours at first. Obviously, if stuff starts to pop off and do really well for you, you can build on top of it. But at first, you probably only need 2 hours. So we'll say mine is like 12:30 to 3:30 because I also go to the gym. I'll go on a run. I'll probably, you know, nap for like 15-20 minutes. And then the rest of the time, I'm dedicating to reading and researching for this channel. I usually just throw my phone on Do Not Disturb because both my roommates usually are at work during that time. But if they are here, most of the time, I can kind of just close the door, throw on something in the background. Half the time I don't even need to do that and just focus. So all kind of depends on your particular situation. But the biggest thing that you need to know is that whatever your situation is, you can find a way to apply this. You just have to have the will to do it. And that's the biggest thing. You know, I can tell people how to apply it, you know, which ways they can use it to their advantage, what tasks they should allocate, you know, flow state time for, but I can't physically get people to do it. So it's up to you. It's up to up here. It's up to up here and you to figure it out. So hopefully you guys can use this to your advantage. If you have any questions, I may make a third video on this. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessary. It might be time for a new topic, but I feel like it's good to cover this all. So this is flow number 2, applications of the flow. Episode 2, attack of the flow. That was so unnecessary. Okay, well, adios.
Pizza.